Well, hello guys, welcome back. I'm really tired right now. I'm gonna probably go up super early tonight. It's the weekend too. Should be like getting into that Friday night feeling. I'm just not feeling it right now. You're gonna have times in your life when you're going to regret the God you partnered with on something. You're just gonna regret it because obviously it's gonna result in a failure. And I know there's something in me that's not in most people because this really upsets me, but um the bill to kill the wolves in Idaho passed, so the population's going to drop by 90%, so it's going to go from 1,500 wolves to 150 wolves. And I know I'm one of the only people that cares. I know that. I know most of you don't care. Okay, that's fine. But I regret that I chose Odin to work with because he insisted on working with me together. I should have chose Ganesh because he's a vegetarian. He'd have no vested interest in helping hunters. Odin's literally the god of hunting. Um, Sometimes it's like asking the fox to guard the hen house. You should use a little wisdom that even if a god's your friend, I used to consider Odin a friend. I'm not sure how I feel about him right now, but you can't blame a snake for being a snake. You can't blame a trickster for being a trickster. I don't know if the lesson I was supposed to learn is you shouldn't always trust Odin, which is actually a fun lesson to learn sometimes, but or that I should know his nature. I should know his nature. He's a god of hunting. He's a god of hunting. He's a god largely associated with beef. I don't know why in a lot of stories. Um, I should have known whose side he would take, and it wouldn't be my side. You know, I foolishly thought he'd take my side. He really, to his credit, he didn't make any promises. So, he did not say, "Oh, absolutely." And he has approached me before for wolf fur or bear pelts, and I've never been able to do it. One, it's a legal thing. It might not even be legal to own in this state. And two, I just couldn't kill one of those animals. I like to watch the videos of the bears at the rescue sanctuary and the wolves at the rescue sanctuary. I'm the last person you should ask for it. And I said to Loki, I think we've come to a parting of the ways. I said, if this is really part of him, if this is an essential part and he needs this to be satisfied and be happy, I'm not gonna hold Odin here and keep him miserable. I said, I'm sad and I'm angry, but I'm sad and I'm angry because I fucked this up. I fucked this up. I should have chose a vegetarian god. I should have chose a saint known for their kindness and compassion towards animals. I should have chose anyone, but the old man asked, and I just gave him whatever he wanted, as I usually do. So maybe this was a lesson about, you let those two walk all over you all the time, and now wolves are going to pay for it because it's going to go from 1,500 to 150. Not that anyone's going to count. And any type of hunting is going to be legal, from planes to four-wheelers to snowmobiles. Any style hunting, traps, power snares, poison bait, shooting. I do believe since they're a fur animal, can also club them to death. You can double check me on that if you live in Idaho. Um, Nursing pregnant women, yeah, women, females are, they're on there. She can be pregnant, she can be nursing. You can kill her, you can kill the pups, you can kill an entire pack. One license, and this is very fucking rare in hunting. Unlimited kills. If you could kill 500 wolves on your own, you could have 500 wolves. Doesn't matter. I'm really, really upset for all the struggles to bring them back into Yellowstone, for all the struggles to get the wolves to rebound. Then this happens. Then, of course, the elk population's going to explode, as it will when there are no predators around to keep them in check. And what they'll do is they'll jump the gun. They'll wait till like the day after the hunt and go, see, the elk population is just fine. You stupid bunny huggers, and you're worrying about the wolves. They're not going to mention that 3 or 4 years from now when the elk are diseased and starving, because as greedy as we are as a species, as short-sighted as we are as a species, there's nothing out there to balance them. Um, I'm upset, but I'm upset at myself. That was my lack of judgment. I knew it was a conservation matter. I know he has never shown a problem with people that have put wolf items like pelts or fangs or whatever on an altar. I knew this. I know there are people that wear bear skins. I know there are people who wear wolf skins. I know this, but I was still dumb enough to work with Odin on this. That's my fault. That's entirely on me. I should have went to Ganesh. Should have went to St. Francis. Should have went to anyone. Anyone but Odin. But no. I wouldn't trust Loki either, because he's a hunter too. Some hunting gods, let me throw a Kavita in there. Some hunting gods understand conservation. They do. They are good stewards of this planet, and they understand that if you hunt all the wolves today, there are no wolves for tomorrow. They're only leaving 150 so they can hunt more tomorrow, just so you understand. They're not being merciful, it's they want something to kill in the future. And I have nothing against hunters. I don't even have anything against trappers. I don't, think it's the most wonderful, nicest thing to do to animals, but, I have nothing to give against them either. And, I grew up in a hunting community, and I've no problem with somebody putting food on the table. But, this just becomes one of those things where this was something really important to me, and I should have chose my partner on this wiser. So, every god isn't good at everything. They're just not. And I think his nature as a hunter overrode any feelings he had for me. I think the the allure of all those wolf pelts overcame him. And I think there's a big difference, and I have to learn this. There's a big difference between someone having wolves as animals that they have with them and actually giving two dams. It's like there are plenty of people that have a pet of their own, but if, 5 million pets were killed in their city, they really wouldn't care as long as it's not theirs. There are just some people out there like that. As long as theirs are good, they're fine. Don't touch theirs, but they don't care about anything else. And Odin has a lot of sides to his nature, like every god. And I think it might have been a thing of I might have been talking to a kinder aspect of his nature. No, it's all Odin to be sure, but I had began that conversation with a kinder, gentler Odin who understood wanting to conserve animals, and ended it with the hunter who just doesn't give any damns about any bunnies I want to hug, and I think that's what happened. It's not his fault. You can't blame a god of hunting for hunting any more than you can blame a god of farming for farming or anything else. I'm really upset with myself. I want to avoid humans for a couple days. I especially don't want anything from Idaho in my house right now. And then they shift the blame. They shift the blame. It's not the fault of the ranchers, it's the fault of all the people that eat meat. So it's my fault wolves are dying. So I feel exceptionally great. Can't win, can you? You can't win. Even if I even felt it was punishment for not being vegan anymore, that the universe is teaching me a unusually harsh and unusually unkind lesson, but I know money talks, and the ranchers just have deeper pockets and better lawyers, and they're always going to get their way. And one day there won't be any wolves in Idaho, and we'll start back again with people trying to petition to bring them back, and, this is how it's gone forever, and this is probably how it will go forever. I don't have any hope in our species because I see stuff like this, so I'm sorry if that's a downer, but I'm just really upset with myself. I had one shot and I fucked it up. I chose Odin to work with. I will regret to the end of time that I didn't pick Ganesh. I did not pick, the Buddha. I did not pick anyone vegetarian or vegan. I should have used some damn common sense and picked someone who would have been working with me, not possibly just not caring, or I wouldn't say he was actively working against me, but I'll never know. So, I don't want that to turn anyone off from Odin, but you do have to realize that. It's kind of like, I asked the fox to watch a hen house. Of course he did. Of course he did. He's watching those hens exceptionally carefully. When I come back in the morning and there are no hens, I don't know. They walked off. Very fat fox. So, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.